Hello and welcome in, all you O-Niners, PCHers, Neptune Pirates, Junior Private Detectives, Spoiled Rich Kids, Gold Diggers, Pride and Prejudice haters, and Sherry? Is that you, Sherry? To Life on Mars, the Veronica Mars rewatch podcast where we go through episode by episode. I'm Brenton.
And I'm Emily.
And we're here to talk about the season 2, episode 3. Oh, God, no. Back myself into a corner. Cheaty, Cheaty, Bang, Bang.
Cheaty, cheaty, bang, bang?
Yeah, because guess what? It's about investigating someone that's cheating.
Oh, I thought you were saying cheaty.
Cheaty. Like Cheaty.
Got it.
It's not a word, but...
It's not, but
yeah.
I get it now.
Uh-huh.
Without seeing it, it was lost on me.
Cheaty, Cheaty, Bang. I never seen Cheaty, Cheaty, Bang, Bang, but I've always heard it's scary.
It's, if we still smoked weed, I would say, let's get high and watch this movie. Because it's that kind of movie where you're like...
Is it scary?
It was as a kid.
Okay, why?
I
don't know anything about it.
So,
all I know is the flying car, so it seemed harmless enough.
And there's a child snatcher.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Need I say more?
Yep, nail, meathead.
Exactly. So, as a child, I was convinced, because I watched too much nighttime news, that I was going to get taken. And actually, because it kind of happened often-ish where I lived. Not often.
Oh. Small
town. So, when things happen, it's a big deal.
Yeah, totally.
And, in the surrounding towns, it feels like it happened in your town because the town's small.
Yeah.
So... I think when my brother was in kindergarten, a little girl got taken. And, there's a lot, in the neighborhood my parents live in, which is a pretty nice family-centric neighborhood. And it's just things like that, the Joan Benet Ramsey case. As a kid, I was convinced that someone was going to take me.
Right.
My cousin Katie and I have talked about how we used to watch Dateline or 2020 and shit like that, and it's how to kick the brake light out of a car if you ever get taken, and what to do, and
right.
We watched it religiously because we knew it would happen to us because we have internalized anxiety. We have hereditary anxiety in this family.
Well, passed along for generations.
Exactly. It's kept us alive so far. My grandmother lived to be 96, anxious her whole life. She'd call you and she'd be like, I've been worried about you. And you're like, what the?
Why?
Why? And she's like, I just worry. And you're like, okay, cool. Same.
Thanks.
You think everyone's supposed to worry. But yeah, so... Not a movie we should watch now. I mean, we could.
No, I mean, I've never had an interest in doing so.
I mean, I had never had an interest in Lord of the Rings until I was
well, there you go.
Trapped in our house.
Yeah, that's the next logical step.
So maybe, yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There's other movies.
Does in one movie what Lord of the Rings do in 3.
Oh my God. No, Lord of the Rings is just white men doing white men things, walking around.
Yes.
So far.
Well,
I'm not done with the series yet.
But they're magical in certain cases. And short in other cases. And just the nicest, kindest human beings on earth in other cases.
And sometimes they're just hungry.
Yeah. Most of the time they're hungry. Just the other ones aren't admitting it.
But this isn't a Lord of the Rings cast. So
no, it is not.
To Veronica Mars.
Yes.
I will also preface that it is allergy season.
Yeah. You've been with us for multiple episodes of this. We've been on a stretch of allergies.
It's Thursdays are always bad allergy days for me. And I'm
just not record on allergy day.
And it's the day I film my YouTube videos too. But really though, on YouTube, you can check it out. And I'm always sniffling and I have to edit out my sniffles because they annoy me. Not because I think anyone would care, but because I'm like, oh, that's awful.
Right. So please bear with us.
We apologize.
But we get a beaver case of the week where with a fun twist at the end.
Yes.
Which I didn't remember when it was first happening. I'm like, oh, right. This is fun.
I didn't think it all unfolded in one episode.
Same.
I thought this was dragged out for more than one episode.
Totally. And I thought it was later than episode 3.
Yeah. But we did watch all of it in the course of a month when we first watched.
Yeah, totally. But we get Dick Casablancas Sr., Wait, no, that's not his name.
Yeah, Dick Senior.
Yeah, I
'Cause
thought
it's
so.
Dick Junior.
Yeah, Dick Jr., Dick Senior. All right, the best. We get introduced to him, and then pretty quickly he is out of the picture.
He is gone.
And also more time getting to know Jackie, which is, I mean, we're set up to not like her, and so the show, there's no effort to make us like her.
I don't know. I feel like they're trying to make us like her. They're trying to make us show that we want to like her in spite of Veronica.
Mm.
But they also aren't making a heavy case.
Right. And I think also she's hitting particular buttons that Veronica gets angry at, and I'm like, I agree with you there.
You and Veronica are on the same tirade.
It's just like, oh God, like, yeah, they're really gonna do this. Specifically the talking about all the famous people I interacted with and stuff. That kind of thing drives me up the wall.
Well, when I met, I don't have anyone.
Tiesto.
I met Tiesto?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm just trying to give you a name.
Are we playing Mad Libs?
Yeah, that was the noun I came up with.
Enrique Iglesias.
Exactly. In the toilet.
At
school.
What was he doing there?
He was playing your school dance.
Oh. It was
school
a
dance.
Real small town, and we keep our hometown boys close.
Exactly. Is he from there?
Nope.
No.
But Steve Perry from Journey is.
Oh, right. There you go.
He's,
Yeah. Hey, kids, don't you stop believing.
Exactly.
We're gonna... Would he play all Journey songs, do you think, if he played a school dance?
I don't think he would play a school dance.
Right, but if he did, would it be all Journey songs, or would he play no Journey songs because he's no longer part of the band?
No Journey songs because he's no longer part of the band. That's my theory on it.
Did you know Randy Jackson is now part of Journey?
Oh.
American Idol judge.
Uh-huh. No, I was just like trying to
picture
put the whole package together.
There was a supposed someone got ousted because they were trying to get two other people out of the band. There's a lot of as Rolling Stone put it, failed coup. It's like I just imagine a coup inside of Journey.
Yep. Don't stop believing.
No.
But in this case,
don't stop having dysfunction. I did want to mention one thing at the top of the episode before we get into the part of the episode where this happens. If you were all supremely confused, as I was, by the extended karaoke sequence where we follow one person for like a minute or two as they do karaoke, that is the lead singer of the Dandy Warhols who do the theme song for the show.
The emo guy with the earring and the newsboy hat?
That sings Love Hurts.
Uh-huh.
Love Hurts.
I thought it was just foreshadowing.
I
mean, I didn't think it was eloquent foreshadowing, but
I wrote down, it reminds me of, so in Twin Peaks, The Return, season 3, they have at the end of the majority of the episodes just a famous band play for, or not, not always famous, I should say, but they have bands play for like a minute to a few minutes, like just randomly at the end of the episode. That's kind of what it reminded me of.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this is 2006 and that was 2017. They can't get Trent Reznor for this. So would you like to hop in?
Yeah. So we start with Veronica talking about college applications.
Yes.
And college scholarships and all of that. And the guidance counselor encouraged her to join some extracurriculars because the ones she was currently in did not count. And I feel like this trope happens a lot in television where it's like, it's senior year, we better all start getting extracurriculars. And it's like, you apply like 3 months later. Like this was not like the fire drill was last year. Like you're in the burning building.
It's definitely adults that are now looking back on it like, it's like when we were in high school during this time, And our parents were like realizing like, wow, look at what they have to do nowadays to get into college. It's like the writer's room like clues in like, look at what students have to do to get into college now. They better do extracurricular. Let's feed it in.
Yeah, some of us had to work and then joined a bunch of like in school clubs, so that way it looked like we did things. But
yeah, some of us fostered dogs for 2 weeks, and it counts as 24 hours each day you foster the dog for community service.
I volunteered at my dance studio and taught dance classes, but I'd been doing that since junior high,
Right.
so it looked real good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And, you know, I can teach baby ballet like a son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm sure.
And baby gymnastics. There's a nice little combo class. Oh, that was my favorite. They're like 2 and 3 year olds. And so you'd get some little boys and little girls in there, and you did half ballet. It's like
that was me.
20 minutes of ballet and 20 minutes of gymnastics.
That is pretty fun.
It was very cute.
Actually, I did, without the dance class, but I did do the gymnastics.
Oh, baby gymnastics is the best. They're just little, and sometimes they still got their little diapers, and they're just like all like they fall, and it's just like whatever, like nobody cares. Very rarely do you cry because nobody looks at like if you fall, everyone falls. It's fine. You just get up. You're on mats.
Right. Yeah. You're on the soft cushiony floor.
And mom is a little bit removed, so you can't see her face when you fall. So you're like, oh, am I good? Oh, I'm good.
Oh, that's true.
It's a big step in independence.
Totally.
And when you teach your baby cousins in baby ballet, you can threaten their McDonald's to be taken away afterwards if they don't behave.
That is good. That is an unexpected bonus.
And all the moms at that point, once they figured it out, are like, okay, like we all go to McDonald's after this. It's what we do on Tuesdays.
It's like, at the end of Little League stuff where you go to the pizza place.
Exactly. Is you go get your McDonald's.
McDonald's. That's
McDonald's.
Really
Yep. Right. They did Nastics. There's no gym. It's too hard. Nastics.
Nastics and McDonald's.
But yeah, so she's building up her resume by joining the Future Business Leaders of America. They didn't have this at my school. We had Future Farmers of America.
I don't think we had a Future Business Leaders of America, but I believe we had an FFA. But I don't know, don't quote me on that.
Yeah. Also, like, what is everyone on your FFA rating?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Carlsbad would be the place for that, but maybe I don't know. There's places down there where you would, but not in my town.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is the most high school boyfriend suggestion is to join the club that he's in, even if it doesn't apply at all to her, and it's also full of just boys.
I would have joined that. So I took auto shop in high school. I was a big proponent of doing things that people told you shouldn't do.
Right.
Or that were unexpected for you, if you will. It's that whole like cliche, like toxic idea that like, I'm not like other girls.
Right.
And she's smarter than all of them. So like,
that's
she
true.
could win.
But she mentions that it was a suggestion from Duncan, which is just like, I know the headspace where it's just like, oh, well, you will be with me. And then it's like not reading the room at all. It's just like, oh, but you will have nobody else with. You're with all my friends.
Well, but they're not really friends with him anymore either.
That's true. Yeah. I guess he does not really have friends.
Yeah.
Who are Duncan's friends?
Well, one of them was a drug dealer.
Right.
He's gone. Logan's dad murdered his sister.
Right.
And who wants to be friends with the Casablancas boys?
Oh, God, no.
But I do like this scene because Veronica walks in and she's like, who are we exploiting now? And Duncan's like, the workers.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, at least he gets it.
Yeah.
Woke Duncan's cool.
Right. Well-adjusted Duncan.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
Although his biases, the way he was raised does come out later. And it's like, hey, what boat is that? He names the boat.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's the best time ever.
But yeah, and we learn all about real estate investment shares. Or
yes.
Rice?
Rights. It was like RIET, I think is what they are.
Real estate investment shares would be REIS.
Maybe it was Reese.
Unless they're real estate investment shares like RIS.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know.
You're probably right. I'm gonna default to you. Yes, and Dick Senior waves at Dick Junior, but stiffs Beaver.
Yeah, abusing your son is just strange.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool.
Everybody bullies Cassidy.
Yep. And so then we get a whole lesson from Dick Sr. about how to be a good business person.
Right.
Which we learn later is just by ripping people off.
Yeah, totally. And it seems, I feel like the poor econ teacher gets taken for a ride, obviously. But the rice. I'm gonna go with that. Seem just like a bad deal all around.
Because you never see the property.
Mm-mm.
You never know what you're investing in. It's just strange.
Yeah, and you put it together with a bunch of other people
Mm-hmm.
to like buy the property.
Yeah, so that then it's
So it's almost like a timeshare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then after our lunchtime class, they're eating. Everyone has the most random food at this school. Like some people have like prepackaged salads. Some people have like school lunch that looks normal, and then like Logan has school lunch, but it's like a fucking burrito. Like I'm really confused. Like I don't know what they're eating. Mm-hmm. Everyone's food looks different.
Yeah.
Rich kid hot lunch must be cool.
Oh yeah, I bet so.
But then after class, Beaver comes up to Veronica and is basically like, "Hey, my stepmom's a gold digger.
Yeah, help me get rid of her because I think she's cheating.
Because I found a monster condom under the couch."
Yeah. Another high school bully moment to not realize that like maybe someone stupid I know would use a monster condom.
Yeah, like who in my life would use a monster condom? Probably not my dad. He'd use like a Marc Jacobs condom.
Yeah, definitely. That is 100% true. I bet Dick Casablanca Sr. would be so happy to use a Marc Jacobs condom.
Like a Louis Vuitton.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and he's just got him in like a wooden box.
It's a little LV on the outside of the wrapper.
God.
But, yeah. He found a condom and he is going to pay Veronica. She negotiates up to $1,000 for a pic of his stepmother violating her prenup.
Mm-hmm.
And then Veronica's leaving and gets taken by the deputy.
Yes. She gets in the front seat.
Yeah, she gets her in the front. It's voluntary. They ask her to come.
Mm-hmm. Veronica, please.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like for you to go see my horrible boss.
Yeah, exactly. And then she gets there and she's like, "What'd you tell me? Like, I bet my dad's pissed about this." And he's like, "I don't have to tell your dad. You're 18," which is literally a threat.
He throws threats around.
Abuse of power.
Yes.
Problematic.
Yeah, that's all he does. All he does is threaten people all day.
And then he's like, "Look at the pictures of this man. Do you know him?" And she makes up a funny story about how she met him as a roadie at a carnival or whatever, in a band or something.
Band. Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Well, he washed up dead with your name on his hand." And it's like, what an awful thing to tell an 18-year-old girl that you didn't offer any police protection to when a man washed up on a beach that she doesn't know and you have no known connections to with her name on his fucking hand. Is she not maybe the next victim?
Right. Yeah. Wouldn't you be concerned maybe? Oh, no. This means that they're connected.
Yeah, she must have written her name on his hand in magic marker?
Yeah, I know. What makes you think that they would be... in collusion or something?
And isn't he the reporter? He looks like the reporter. We don't know yet, but he looks like the reporter that was questioning Wallace?
Oh, no, it's a different guy.
It's a different guy. Because he was the guy, Veronica had seen him before. When he was lighting a candle at the memorial, she held her hand up so that the wind wouldn't blow his match out.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamb's like, "So you do know him?"
Yeah.
She's like thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "I mean, I guess."
I saw him once. But, yeah. I put 2 cheers for psychological torture.
Mm-hmm. So the man's name he goes by Curly.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't know why he's got Veronica's name on his hand or why he's dead.
Mm-mm.
But
David Curly Moran.
But Veronica does have his name now, so she can look into it.
Uh-huh. Dun, dun, dun. On the case.
On the case. And then we go back to the Mars house.
Oh, it's date night.
It's date night. Keith and Alicia.
Yes.
Mrs. Furnell.
Yeah. Wallace's mom.
Mrs. Wallace's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Are having a nice steak dinner at home.
Mm-hmm.
Must be quarantine.
Exactly.
With red wine. And Veronica comes home and she's like, "Hands at your side. There's no making out. Kids in the room." And then her dad's like, what's up? And she's like, nothing. I'm fine.
Right. Hiding. And he's
Yeah.
just like, well, I'm on date night. I'm going to talk to you later about this.
I'm going to look into this later.
Invites Alicia on a lovely trip for the book tour.
To
Chicago. Yeah, the Windy City. Go see a Cubbies game.
I think they call it Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
And I was like, is this a thing? Is this like when people call the city like Frisco? Like, which one of these is like the taboo?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. I've heard Chi-Town before. I do not know if it's like a...
Yeah, but I've heard Frisco, and it's not...
Right.
It's not something that...
Yeah, Frisco sounds bad. Because I always think of it as stop and frisk. Every time.
I feel like I think of it being a nickname for someone. Like, I don't know who, but like...
Someone named San Francisco. Or Francisco.
Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cisco.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that his name? His full name?
Maybe.
You heard it here first, people. Cisco's full name is Francisco.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know if Chicagoans would look at you weird for calling it Chi-Town.
If you're from Chicago, please let us know. You can send us an email at at gmail.com.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you. Look at me. I'm full of the plugs today. I just
Exactly.
sprinkling them in.
Mm-hmm.
A little taster.
Yeah, exactly. And people are just like, wait, what was that? Oh, email.
Yeah, at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Also, if you have any other just ideas in general.
Right, just want to say hi.
Yeah, just want to say hi. Send us a good GIF. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't send us GIF because I'm allergic to peanuts. Did I mention how many allergy medications I've taken today?
We would need a lot more for Jeff.
Yes. So then Keith comes in. He's like, what were you really upset about? And Veronica had been looking into both Mrs. Casablancas and our dear friend Curly.
Mm-hmm.
But she pulls up a screensaver of unicorns, and she's like, Dad, I just have to tell you that I love unicorns.
All shapes and sizes.
And then she kind of just, she digs into their dad. She's like, so are you proposing? And it's like, didn't they just get divorced?
Right.
But I get it. Young love.
Yeah, exactly. And anxiety being used as a cover.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not proposing. I'm just taking my special lady friend to Chi-Town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It makes it sound like they're going to go get a latte.
Exactly. Get a deep dish. I finally picked up on it.
And then we go back to school? Are we back to our class?
No. Wait. Yes, I believe we are. Apologies.
Back to our club sport of being business boys.
Mm-hmm. Business boys.
And I believe this is the scene where we get the Mr. Pope, our econ business teacher, talking about his stocks and what he's got his stocks in and how he's done in the past and how he models his in the class after his actual 401k investments.
Uh-huh.
And how with what he's doing now, he'll be able to retire next year and go get on his boat that Duncan knows what it is.
Yeah, the karma comes swift on this one.
And then Logan and Duncan get in a fight.
Yeah. Because, what is, I forget why they get in a fight.
Logan says something stupid, and it's just Duncan jumps at him.
Yeah. About, Veronica, probably.
It's about Veronica, but...
Yeah. Also,
we think it's about Veronica. Right. It's not.
We think that it, not we think. I think it is pretty awful that they always pick the seats next to Logan every time they enter class.
Well, they're the only seats available. It's like no one else wants to sit next to him.
Yeah, that's probably true. He is kind of, he's probably been an insufferable jerk.
But yeah, so they fight, and then you find out while they're in the nurse's office that Logan wasn't actually mad about Veronica. He's mad about Duncan not being there for him.
Yeah, which completely valid.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like, dude, awful.
You weren't here for me.
Yeah. And also remember that, like, I was in love with your sister also, and I didn't kill her. My dad did.
Uh-huh.
So, like, don't you think I'm feeling pretty broken up about this, too? We could work through this together, bud.
And then, sure, we both want to date the same girl, but, like...
Right.
you did break up with her.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it is her choice.
Well, let's not give the high schoolers too much credit here.
But yeah, so they fight, and then Logan cries. They have a really sad, where the nurse is wrapping up his hand, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, does it sting?"
And then it's just close up on his eyes, like tearing.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, he just misses his friend.
Uh-huh.
That's why he's fucking his friend's mom, stepmom.
Yeah, it was very funny. But I just thought that was very funny. It was just like, oh, look, he's so tender.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wrong again. If we could jump back just a little bit, because before then is when Veronica is tailing Kendall.
Oh, for
based
the first
off
time.
exactly following Kendall with Beaver's detailed schedule of her going to the gym, and
She's got to be a Virgo or something, like an Earth sign, to keep that kind of schedule.
Probably. I could see that. Or if she's not doing anything else, she's like, I'm gonna keep a strict schedule to like make my days planned out.
That sounds so boring.
Yeah, probably. And we see her meeting up with her gym instructor. They go rendezvous to a hotel. And
the Camelot.
The Camelot, and they switch bags. And they shut the blinds, and Veronica's only get pictures of blinds, not of the actual copulation.
Yeah, there's no money shot.
Exactly. Much to Beaver's chagrin. Cannot use those photos to actually get anything because they could be doing anything behind there. To which Veronica replies, "Oh, you poor sweet Beaver."
And then he's like, "I care if she's swapping gym bags with somebody."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Ooh, like Veronica didn't notice that because that's not what she was looking for." So then Veronica's like, "Gotta fish this one out."
Wonder why they're swapping gym bags. And then Veronica and Wallace are eating lunch. Makes fun of Wallace endlessly for bringing a pudding cup, and I said, "You should be excited to have that goddamn pudding cup." Some of us would have loved pudding cups in high school.
Did you not get to eat pudding cups?
No, I mean, I just didn't have pudding cups, but I would have liked a pudding cup. But also, by the time I was a senior, we were going out to lunch all the time anyway.
But you couldn't have just gotten a pudding cup?
Probably.
Okay, just checking.
I'm
I was
just
like,
saying.
I feel like I've always had access to pudding cups.
Yeah.
My little pudding cup.
That was not the case for me. We didn't have pudding a lot of the time.
You didn't have pudding in your house?
They did sometimes, not a lot of the time.
Granny always had pudding in her house.
Oh, I'm sure.
Different kinds. Vanilla, tapioca. I kind of like tapioca because I'm an old person inside.
That explains.
But I
That
like chocolate
lines
too.
up. I like the vanilla chocolate.
Yeah, the little like sandwichy swirl thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Were you one of those people that got the vanilla swirl chocolate
Froyo?
Froyo?
Yeah.
Or soft serve is what I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay. Yes, that was definitely me. I wanted both.
I see.
And I would get it from Costco at lunch with a large size of pizza, and I'd eat both and then go to class.
I don't even want to think about what your farts would smell like now if you did that.
Oh God, it would be the worst. We'd have to evacuate.
We couldn't live.
The
in our
CO2
apartment.
alarm would go off. Yeah, it'd be bombed. It'd be tented.
Is that what you want to do for your birthday? We'll get you.
Go
Put
wild.
you out on the patio.
Yeah, exactly. Just farting it up. Oh, but what a day.
High school stomachs, man.
Yeah, hearty.
Yeah. I used to eat hot Cheetos and I used to dip them in nacho cheese.
That is pretty good.
It's really good.
But I would always talk about to other people how I'd have this belly, and then I'm like, no, but don't worry. By the time they make me run for the cross, it will all be gone.
Oh, it wasn't about the body image piece. It was just simply like the combination that I'm like, who the fuck would eat hot Cheetos dipped in nacho cheese? Me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, God.
Good times.
My tummy.
But then Jackie comes over for lunch, and Veronica's like, excuse me, who invited you? It's like, oh, damn it, right, Wallace. And throws Wallace a favor by inviting them both to watch Pride and Prejudice at Duncan's villa at the top of the Neptune Grand.
Yeah, it's sweet at the Neptune Grand.
Because they do not want to read the book. They will watch the miniseries with Colin Firth instead.
Which, I mean, I feel like it'd be faster to just read the book.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the miniseries is what, like, probably like 6-7 hours?
Yeah, for me personally, I'd just read the book.
Yeah, you would gobble it.
I had never really liked Pride and Prejudice. I'd have to reread like other Austen, but Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility were not my cup of tea. But I did like Sense and Sensibility better than Pride and Prejudice.
But you would probably. I wonder if you would go back and like Emma more now.
Maybe I don't think I ever read it
and stuff. Yeah, I have read Zero Austen.
I took a really cool class on the Bronte sisters instead, but I refused to take in college. I refused to take the Austen class.
Yeah, I understand.
It was principle of the thing.
Exactly.
I'm not like other girls. Toxic.
But yes, they're gonna have a movie night and a double date, and maybe get to know Jackie better. We'll see. But then we go back to the gym. Oh wait. Beaver. Veronica has Beaver load an iPod Shuffle full of Kendall's music. And then they head back to the gym to perform a little switcheroo on the iPod Shuffles.
Because the one Veronica's going to switcheroo it with has a camera in it. One image every 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah. And so while Kendall is jogging or using the Stairmaster, goes over and bugs her incessantly until she lets her borrow the iPod Shuffle and it switches. Do you remember the iPod Shuffle? I never had one, but it seemed so impractical.
Yeah, I didn't have one like that. I had the Nano?
Nano.
The one with the little screen. And then I think I had a mini. And then after that, I had the tiny shuffle with a little clip on it.
Oh, right. Those? Yeah.
Because that one made sense because it was really small. So I'd clip it to my shirt while I was doing things.
That's cool. As someone who really has specific songs they want to listen to at specific moments, the shuffle would drive me crazy because it's like, damn it, I just want to get to the one song. And it's like, damn it, it's buried at like 150 of 150.
Yep. Yeah, it was a lot.
Gets the switch off and goes on her way. Then heads to the garage where David Curly Moran worked, and is like, asking people, trying to fish a little bit, oh, I'm Curly's niece,
Veronica Mars. Did he ever mention me?
Yeah, fishing for any information, and they are just like, nope, he didn't talk, and you get the impression that they did not like him. And here's a box of his stuff. Get out of my garage. I don't care if he died.
Yes. We don't service your car here.
But he apparently loved to take pictures with all the famous people that would service their cars there.
Yes.
Which would be insufferable. And
he has one with Aaron Eccles that talks about the long haul.
Right. Which you think it might just be a clever turn of phrase.
But we also know from Veronica doing a little sleuthing earlier that when she was looking into David Curly Moran, he used to be a stunt coordinator and a stuntman, but he got injured doing a really big trick with a thing and a car and a thing. And so he no longer did it. And then that's why he had a criminal record because, he was lost after he lost his purpose or whatever.
And did a lot of meth. Haven't we all?
God, I hope not.
Yeah. Remember after my stunt days, it was dark.
You can't even do a front roll.
No. And I don't like heights, so.
So what stunt are you doing?
All ground level.
He's just an extra for napping.
Yeah, they throw me. I'm really good. I'm going limp.
It's not even true. You'd freak out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I tensed up. Sorry, guys.
Oh, my God. But yeah, so we're like, what a weird gift to have.
Right. You and Aaron Eccles. So then continue to tracking Kendall, and Kendall goes to this resort with her with the trainer again. The trainer. Yeah, or so she thinks. and finds that the name seems awfully familiar. I wonder, the Sandpiper, where have I seen this before?
Oh, yeah, and the Reese demonstration from the Casablancases, because the Sandpiper Hotel is a hotel that you can buy into. It's supposed to be a luxury hotel. It looks like a motel when you see it in person.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like it's a house of cards.
Exactly. Bum, bum, bum. Foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. 4 years as an English major, and I've done it.
You cracked it.
I foreshadowed. I've been out of practice for, 5-6 years? But, today is the day.
Yeah, you got it. We're rekindling that fire.
Thank you.
That English paper fire.
Mm-hmm. Why I refuse to read Jane Austen. My internalized misogyny.
The great English paper fire. And so then we head back to school to learn how to commit fraud.
Yeah, Mr. Pope, let's say maybe someone wanted to do one of these wreaths, but they lied about how much one was, and then they just kept doing more of them and borrowing against the price of the first one, and so on and so forth. And he's like, well, you could do that, but then you're building a house of cards. And she's like, and I quote, "Sell your stock, Mr. Pope."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "That's what the Casablancas have been doing it, and I'm about to blow their cover." And he's like, I can't sell that stock, Veronica, because you don't just sell it. Someone else has to buy it, and I can't do that to them.
Yep, I'm going to stick somebody else. And it's like, that's nice that you think people that play the stock market have a heart of gold.
Yeah, also, why I feel like the Casablancases would potentially buy their own stock back just for since it's such a high value stock. I could see the boys if they're actually I don't since they don't work for the company. I don't
that's
know.
True.
That's
right. But as Dick puts it earlier in the episode, it's just like, you're gonna retire early and I'm getting a big payday.
Yep.
So we take some time and we have our movie night, which goes about as well as planned, with everybody loving Jackie but Veronica.
Well, Duncan he's just a nice to be around dude now.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm chill.
We're having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well-adjusted Duncan here.
Well-adjusted Duncan.
Yeah, it must feel pretty nice not having Celeste and Jake around.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have not given enough credit over the past couple episodes of this that how freeing that must be for a Duncan to just live in his hotel room.
Without his parents hovering over him.
Exactly. And having his dad be like, "You're going to be the president." And his mom be like, "God damn it, Duncan, take your pills."
And then also you murdered your sister.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, we just had to cover up for you. You made a big mistake.
But don't worry, you're going to be the president.
Exactly. And we still have that college fund for you, bud.
It's so fucking weird.
It really is.
But
yeah, there's water under the bridge for them.
So,
but yeah, away in Napa.
The parents have moved to their Napa home to
If
recover from the murder of their daughter with their wine cellar.
And leaving their son alone, which is great job. A+.
Parenting.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
You know what? Whatever. Whatever works for you.
Right. So they make it most of the way through Pride and Prejudice. But there's a plan in the future to re-meet back up, and Veronica wants to die.
She's like, I don't really want to do this again. I respect that. I've been there before.
Oh,
where everyone else is eating someone's bullshit up, and I'm just like, I can't because I don't have the astrology to handle fakeness.
Right, where you just feel like, you hate that. You feel like you're crazy. You're like, why can't I like this person? Because everybody else does.
I've yelled that at you many times.
Yes.
I have a very hard time with this.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like a bad person.
It does. In college, it was the worst because then it's like, this person's coming over now. Now I have to. Now this person is going out with us, and this is a whole thing. I'm gonna have to see this person for the next 2-3 hours.
And then my friends like this person, so they're gonna keep bringing them around, and it's like, but why do they like this person? And why don't I just like this person?
Exactly. It's like, oh my god.
Usually it's because they bring out some sort of deep-seated insecurity in yourself that you didn't know you had. Sometimes they're just Casablancas, though, and they're insufferable. And
yeah,
true. It's okay. It's okay to write off people like Dick.
Mm-hmm. And I had a neighbor, and he would just come in, and it would just be like me alone, and it's just like, you're just going to talk my head off and talk about how you can beat people up really good, and that you had to register your fists as weapons. And it's just like, oh my God, like I was just trying to like watch TV by myself for like the one time when nobody's at my house. Can you go?
Sometimes there's something, oh, sorry, I have someone coming over and I need you to leave.
Yeah.
Wink.
Yeah. I should have.
You were very fast.
No, and I was just all in my head, and it's just like, this will end soon, right? And it's just like, no, it won't. And he's now making demands of what we should watch on Netflix next.
People.
I know, that was the worst.
So you should always be honest with people.
Exactly. Get the fuck out of my house.
Well, maybe be nice.
This is alone time.
And then do we go over to Chicago?
Yes, we do. And Alicia asks Keith a little bit about this. Like, do you really want to be, I almost said president, sheriff? Do you want to be sheriff? Really want to be sheriff? And is Veronica okay with this? And he's like, yes. She's the one that pushed for this, and also I would have a steady paycheck again, and I don't have to chase bail jumpers, so that sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Well, and he has a really funny quote about like, I liked having basically like direct reports or underlings because like, besides my daughter, because she's not really good at wrestling the crackhead into the back of the car, the meth head into the back of the car, or whatever it was.
Yeah, totally.
Slightly, probably still offensive, but you know, a very funny image to imagine Veronica wrestling anyone on drugs into the back of the car.
And so then, you know, they have their good night listening to jazz. Oh, I love jazz.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't know, but I saw someone do a funny meme. It was just like, boomers. It's just like, music nowadays, all the lyrics like make no sense. And it was like jazz musicians on heroin in the 60s. Scatty boo bada bee boo ba boo. Oh
my God. Better than smooth jazz. Smooth jazz is the worst.
Smooth jazz, 98.1.
I gotta go. I don't know where I'm going, but I gotta go.
Yeah, there's a fun little peek inside the brain.
It's beautiful.
And so on the way out, they're walking, and a man is yelling Sherry at them. And Alicia is like, maybe Keith won't pick up on it. Like, let's just keep walking.
Drunk.
Exactly. And they walk all the way to the elevator, and a man is like chasing after them, yelling Sherry. And Keith decides to ignore it mostly, but still asks her to see if she'll tell him. And
do you know that man?
She's like, no, that happens all the time. And he's like, they call you Sherry? Yeah.
And then she's like, do you know how to make a hotel bar martini? He's like, I invented them because he's drunk.
Exactly. But, doing a little bit of, I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear that because I really like this person and she's not telling me something.
And then the guy who was yelling at her goes up to the room, to the front desk, and he's like, oh, like, I need to know who's on this floor in this room, like, and describes them. And they're like, well, we can't tell you. And he flashes a badge at them. And I'm like, who is he?
What kind of shit is this? What
kind of badge?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's cute.
Yeah, a little fun setup there of, okay, that's everybody's got a tragic backstory, huh?
And then we go over to the cafe that Veronica works at, and we get this really awkward karaoke scene.
Oh my God, the guy that is first doing karaoke has the creepiest smile, and whoever he's with is like eating it up, and he's just like staring her dead in the eyes, and it's like, run. You gotta run. You gotta get out of there.
I think, love, exciting and new.
True.
And then we jump over to the other guy with the newsboy hat and the earrings who sings Love Hurts.
And then she cries, and he's like, damn, you're blowing up my spot, dude. And it's all very confusing and not very funny. And if your relationship is predicated on one karaoke song, then, it's probably a win-win for everybody if you don't stay together.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, if you really, like, you went up there and you sang about how much you hated me, like, fuck bitches get money,
True.
like, I'd probably leave you.
Yeah, that's a very different one.
Okay.
but if you cried and wanted to break up after hearing "Love Hurts," then that's not a solid relationship there.
No. And I probably wouldn't even be mad about the one that I mentioned if I had because I had put you up to it. That seems like something that would have come from my brain and not
you
yours.
Would find it very funny as I try and stumble my way through it and feel sheepish.
It would have been great.
I have never done karaoke once.
I haven't done it in my adult life.
As a kid with one of the karaoke machines?
I had one.
You did? What songs did it have in it?
I had like a cassette one, so then you could buy karaoke and a CD. It was a CD cassette radio player that also had a microphone.
Oh, that's really cool.
Wow.
So
I used to fall asleep listening to Soft Rock 98.9.
Ooh, much better than...
I know this may not surprise you at all, but falling asleep to the sounds of people talking is very soothing to me.
Yeah.
Or singing or music. But then, it had to be like soft rock. Like you put on a pop station and I'm up till 5.
Right. Very, very delicate balance.
Yes. I need my melodies.
Yes, you do.
But yeah,
and your lyrics. Yeah, that's fun.
It was very fun. And you could buy karaoke versions of CDs and cassettes and then put them in there and then hook it up to a TV and it would put the lyrics up.
Ooh, even better. I did write down that the lead singer of the Dandy Warhols looked like Brendan Fraser.
He's like
from the Mummy fame and Encino Man.
He looked like
George of the Jungle.
Someone else too, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I'll have to come back to it. I feel like it's someone I know from my personal life.
Oh,
you know
what
I mean? Where it was like, oh, you look familiar.
You look like Jonathan. Not Van Ness.
Or any of the ones I know. They don't look like that.
I see.
But yes, anyway, weird karaoke scene.
Yeah, real weird. Real weird.
Like a newsboy hat, a hoop earring, and a polo shirt. It's not a good look.
Yeah. But then we finally get to the why we're even here is Veronica's making the handoff of photos off to Beaver. And it's like, Beaver, I'm going to have to show you something. It kind of sucks.
And he's like, oh, Veronica, you have customers. Like, come back in a second. And so she goes to help people find a table. And it's our girl, just blanked on her name. Jackie with another man. She's got her hand on his chest.
Yep. Looks like they're on a date for sure. And is, giving sass to Jackie. And Jackie's just like, why are you doing this? We're going to go to a table now.
And then Veronica goes back to Beaver and he's gone. And she's looking at the pictures on her computer. And she's like, oh my God, it's Logan. She's having an affair with Logan.
Yeah. Isn't that fun? Isn't that a great way for her to find out too? At my place of work.
Exactly. Well, I mean, doing her work too.
Right. Yeah. That would, that'd be an awful picture to find. That'd be just the worst. The worst.
Then do we get Beaver's scene first or Veronica and Logan's scene first?
Where are you talking about Beaver and Dick Sr.? That is at the end.
Okay.
So we get Veronica goes to school and is like, hey, Dick Jr., have you seen your brother Logan? And he's like, no, flippant remark, walk away. So she's like, oh, shit. And
so she calls Logan, and he doesn't answer, and she gets this motivational quote of the day voicemail, which is by far my favorite thing about Logan.
I miss those. We need more of those.
And then she goes over to go find Logan, and he had just had sex with his lady friend, the boy's stepmom, and she walks into his house, and it's just like all unlocked, and everything's open. And she's like, Logan, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just so you know, like, they know because, like, Beaver put me up to this because they wanted to find out if she was violating her prenup.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Dick Sr. is going to rip your head off.
And she's like, I just wanted to warn you. And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for taking care of me and just being an asshole.
Yep. Just being a giant asshole.
And so then she's...
the Logan MO this season.
Yeah. She's leaving and she notices a poster on the wall. For a movie.
Wait, like, Jesus, Logan, like...
Take down the posters of your father.
Please take them down. Like, that is awful to be walking around the house. He has decorated that house with every square inch of a photo of himself.
Yeah, it's a shrine to Aaron Eccles.
Yeah, take it down for your mental health. your therapist, well, actually, what you weren't seeing, would tell you to take these down.
We think.
Yeah.
We're not mental health professionals.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But, I would suggest taking them down.
Yeah, that'd probably
From
help.
my non-professional.
But it works out for the plot.
Because Veronica's like, the long haul. Weird. It's a 1980s movie. And then she like gives us all the facts. It's like, it was Aaron Echol's first movie, and it had this one particular stunt with a stunt guy coordinated by
David Curly Moran.
And so we're like, that's what the long haul on the photo meant.
Yes, Veronica IMDb Mars.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, she really just like pours it all out for you. It's like, well, we can't have another scene of her on her computer. Like, we'll just do it now.
Mm-hmm. So, and then Logan's like, are you looking at the pictures? Like, get out of my house, blah, 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 or whatever.
Yeah, and she's like, up yours.
Yep. And
but not really.
Then she leaves.
Yeah.
Then we go downtown.
Making our way downtown. Walking fast.
We get to Cassidy coming into his dad's office, and he's like, Dad, I know you're probably not going to hear this, but I hired an investigator, and Kendall's cheating on you. You should leave her. And he's like, you hired an investigator.
Yeah.
A PI.
Just like, oh, shit.
And he's like, everyone shred everything. And he leaves his office, and he's like, I've got to go, son.
Yeah, and the SEC's there, like, trying to, like, come up to the office.
Literally at that very moment.
And Beaver is just like, what the hell's happening? And we get the scene from the pilot episode of Arrested Development of Shred the Evidence.
Shred the evidence.
Shred the evidence.
Everybody start shredding.
Right. You're crying. Why are you crying?
And then...
Obviously, the blue parts are land.
And then Dick Sr. goes upstairs to his helicopter, gets in, and flies away.
Yeah. And then Cassidy is left sitting there looking sad, as he always does, on the verge of crying, because he does not know what he's done.
Nope, he has no idea.
He's stumbled into it again, and his dad is literally flying off the roof.
And then we get one final scene, which is Veronica going over to her dear boy toy donkey's house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, whoa, have you seen all this shit that is going on with the boy's dad? And she's like, it was me. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, the bus crash was for me. And I'm like, what horrible writing.
Yeah, that her jumping to conclusions, Matt, is really not paying off.
She's using a fucking springboard.
Exactly, yeah. I wonder if it was also on the IMDb page that she looked up. Whatever it was, Long Haul. I love Long Haul. It's one of my favorite Eccles films.
Yeah, it's like, oh, was he like, was the bus driver trying to kill her? Was Logan like? There's still so many missing pieces to this puzzle.
Yeah, she jumped way too far. And is like, oh, they derailed an entire bus to try and kill me.
Kids without me even on the bus. It's strange.
It is. But so we don't believe it for 1 second. But who knows?
But I also get it. There's a lot of trauma going on there.
There is. Whole lot of trauma.
Whole lot of trauma.
Yeah. And there's the end.
There we go.
Yeah. We say adios, Dick Sr. And we don't say hello to anybody.
No.
Just adios.
Just adios to Dick Sr.
Exactly. A one-way aloha, as we call it.
Oh my God. Well, shall we plug?
Yeah, let's plug it up.
You can find me at But Really Though spelled THO, on YouTube and Facebook. You can find me at But Really Though on Instagram, but it's BTRLYTHO. Drop most of the vowels, but keep the Y because it sometimes counts in the O.
Yep. Costs too much money.
And you can find me on my website, butreallythough.com. I post content about free content for everyone about life
for the
coaching,
people.
For the people. Personal and professional development. Sometimes I just do some fun home things. We got a little cutesy patio remake over, and then sometimes we get deep into the nitty-gritty of how we can be better people.
Cheer.
And I also do personal one-on-one coaching. So
yes.
If you need a little help getting your life or career organized, I am here to help. I did work in HR for a very long time, so I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes, she does. Ooh, boy. All right, my name. Let's start there. Twitter.com at Jesus Christ. He's on the 1 yard line, fumbles the ball.
Wait, but okay, so obviously this is a podcast and you cannot see our situation, but our dog is currently laying half in his bed and half just on the fucking floor. And I think that summarizes you right now.
Yes, I am the slinky that did not make it all the way down the step.
That is hard to do.
It is. You can find me on Twitter at PyleBrenton, Pyle. And you can find this podcast at Mars Rewatch on Twitter and Facebook. And email us again at marsrewatch@gmail.com. Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns.
We also have another podcast. It's also called But Really Though.
Oh, thank God. I'm missing something and I cannot figure it out.
I was like, you're on it. Why are you so excited about it?
Whew. It's a fucking great podcast.
It's a conspiracy theory, urban legend, tall tale, myth podcast where we dig into the facts, the fiction, and convince ourselves of things we didn't think we'd actually believe.
Yeah. We let the facts do that for us.
It's But Really Though. You can find it wherever you stream this podcast from. And once again, though, it's THO. We leave out all the extra letters.
Yeah, don't need them. We went on a Wheel of Fortune. They cost too much money.
You cannot buy vowels. Or G's and H's.
Exactly. All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Stay toasted, marshmallows. Make some s'mores. S'mores?
Some more s'mores.
Some s'mores?
S'mores.